Hey, you guys. Hi, guys. Look, I'm like sitting here with my little cozy. So I'm having a minute. I'm having an indulgence. I don't usually eat sugar, and I don't eat sugar in early in the day because it's just not going to be productive for me, or it'll give me heartburn or whatever. But my husband and I love these Nature's Bakery brownies. Oh, they're they're our guilty pleasure. So my little my witchy, I'm having a homemade chai latte, and and I use maple syrup instead of sugar. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna have this little morning to myself. I have been going nonstop for so long that you know, it's almost like I don't like having a day off because when I do, it's like harder to get back into it. It's just easier to keep going. By the way, like my little snowman, my snowman socks. In real time, it's October 29th, 2023. And I was just having a moment, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. It was funny because at first I'm like, it's just a nice moment to myself. I'm like, without anybody or, whatever, Alder's working right now. So I was like, I'm just going to have this little time to myself. I didn't even set up I don't really care. I'm like, it is what it is. Um, but I was having this moment of gratitude, this moment of realization. And excuse me, I didn't want to, I wasn't sure how this was going to kind of go, but I was having, how like you have like a moment of something, a conversation you think might happen or it might have happened this way or that way kind of thing. The conversation hasn't happened, but in your mind you're like, if it were, you know what I mean? Have you ever done that? If you run into that person, if you ever have a conversation with them, what would you say? Kind of thing. And I was having this moment about being a telepath and how we all have psychic ability. Everything that I possess, we all have it. We're all connected. We all have the same things. It's just that some of us are a little more tuned in to certain frequencies than others. And as a telepath, I thought I was crazy for most of my life. They said my grandmother was crazy. Now I realize my grandmother was absolutely, my whole life people would say, you're just like grandma, you're just like grandma. I loved it until it was like, oh, she's just like grandma. You know what I mean? And then I was like, what? Fuck you. Fuck you for me and fuck you for grandma. Like, fuck you. Like, you don't know anything like what we're going through. And it made sense that I was like one of the last people to actually speak to my grandmother before she transitioned to the other side. And it was as if her whole life she had been like dumbed down with meds. And then on her deathbed, it was like she said everything to me that she wanted to say. And at the time, this was, 20 plus years ago. I literally 23 years ago actually, because she died in 2000. So um, it was a very puzzling and confusing time for me. I didn't. It was, it was like I felt like my family and friends, school, work, whatever, like spent so much time beating out of me these things that my grandmother was trying to tell me were my good, things. Like that's what was good about me. And then when she, was on her deathbed, it was like she, it's like I had a moment yesterday where I was like, I had to thank my mom and my grandmother. Like I know I can talk some smack on my family, and I'm taking a break from them right now, and I've been going through some stuff with my mom. I kind of feel like I sorted out almost every person that I had conflict with except for my mom. And then when I had to look at my mom, when I had to go into the shadow and I had to like see both of us and had to see who she was, had to look at situations where I always like would make up for her or whatever, but then like hear from spirit like, yeah, but like, she could have done this, or like, you know what I mean? But that's just where she was. And that's what they were saying. It's just like she was a very young mother. She was a teenage mother and never really had a life or a break. And then when my parents did divorce, she was like 36 years old, I believe. And, now being 51, I'm like, 36 feels like a baby to me. As you get older, it really does. You can't imagine it when you're there, right? But so I absolutely forgive my mother. I forgive every family member. But I just wanted to say a quick note to you guys that, like, whatever you felt, whatever you thought, whatever you think you are, like when you were a child, I absolutely, in the 70s, I remember like being in church and being like, this is crazy. I felt like the whole world was crazy and I was the sane one. I really did. But then it was like the more I tried to like be myself, the more people were like, don't be yourself, don't be yourself, don't be yourself, don't be yourself. You're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get killed, you're gonna, you're too nice, you're too sensitive, you're too naive, blah blah blah, blah, all these things, all these things, all these things, all these things. And they didn't know any better. They were, acting from, their own level of consciousness at the time and loving me and not wanting anything to happen to me. But I digress. I mean, I basically, my whole thing is I just wanted to pop on here and just say, you know, in real time, like I said, it's Sunday, October 29th, 2023. Samhain is just a few days away now. And yesterday I did a pick a reading for the tribe, which I don't know when I'm posting this and I don't know when, you know what I mean? But it'll be out soon. I'm pretty sure they're having me I think they're going to have me post it on Samhain. But it was like over 3 hours of just like amazing, intense energy. There was a mass reading for the tribe, and then there were like three pick a readings, and all of them, I felt like all of them, like, had something to give all of us. But it was just really profound. It was really amazing, and I had so many breakthroughs. And I'm here, like, my job is to make sure that that I love you and that you are loved and that your weirdness is actually your fucking superpower. And it's just that we were told and we were programmed to stay the same and not be better than anyone, not be, and to be jealous. And I mean, like, all of these things, these emotions, they're human emotions, yes. And the darkness is here to help us stretch those emotions. But, with the free will on the planet, some things have gone too far. And so now there's a lot of things that are about to change and about to happen. And the best thing you can do for yourself is to stay in your, like, crazy, right? Because crazy is not a bad word. It's like crazy is awesome. Crazy just means, like, you're not like somebody else. And who the hell would want to be like anyone else? We're all individuals. Even twins, it's like there's, certain things that tell them apart. It's like there is no thing that is exactly the same unless you clone it. Why do you think they wanted to do cloning and that didn't take off? Why? Because you can't fucking put the same soul into like, somebody could clone me, but if it's not my soul inside, it's just a shallow avatar walking around, right? Like, or it's another soul that's living in an image of me. But how bizarre. So there's just so many things that are happening on the planet. So just stay in your awesomeness, stay in your superpower and your superhero, stay who you are. If things don't feel right to you, they probably aren't. Listen to your intuition, listen to that inner voice. I just put out two meditations on the magical medium, not meditations, but kind of. They're in the shorts and they're little mantras. And the little mantras, are, I trust my inner voice. Trust your inner voice. Trust if it doesn't feel right. Trust that your crazy is the gift that was given to you to help bring the world into the light that it needs to be. We need the shadow to survive. We need ego to survive, but they cannot drive the bus. They cannot rule the world. It doesn't work. You cannot shove out the divine feminine energy and the goddess. It doesn't work. We need a balance. So no longer are we breeders and whores. We are beautiful, beautiful souls. So how, meaning the divine feminine. So I'm going to get cut off. But anyway, have a blessed day wherever you are. And just know that I love you. Take good care of yourselves and each other. Drink lots of water, eat healthy foods, and stay grounded through this transition, because we're only a few more weeks until the end of the eclipse season. All right. I love you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye. Peace, baby.